dead people.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen, or just Jen, and if you haven't already, I made a video about the House of Anubis season 1 and season 2, and I basically told you everything that happened in that show, both of those seasons. And this episode or video is going to be talking about why season 3 does not work. It's a lot. It's so much packed into one, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. Just so you guys know, is I don't have any. The only thing I have are these are my notes of, so I can keep a more structured fashion of this video. So I'll make sure to maintain eye contact with you, so you know that it's all up here. I'm not trying to cheat or anything. What I know is what I know, and so there's that. Season 1 talks about the Cup of Ink, Cup of Immortality. Season 2 is about the Mask of Anubis. And then season 3, we have the Staff of Osiris is our mythical Egyptian object that we're using. However, the whole mystery behind it is Robert Frobisher Smythe is in a tank, and he is cursed by Anubis, and he needs to have a specific ceremony to awaken himself. And it's by people who are pure of heart, the Seeker, the Keeper, and the Enabler. All three of them must come together, perform a ritual, etc., etc. And so Victor, our caretaker of Anubis' house, it's his destiny to be the enabler. Sweet, Eddie's dad, is the seeker. And then Harriet Denby is the keeper of Robert and his tank. Before we dive into what these roles mean and all of that, let's talk about Robert and the tank himself. When Nina assembled the Cup of Ink in season 1, Sarah showed up and she said, "The cup has been restored. We can rest in peace. The curse can be lifted. We can rest in peace."
Now the cup has been restored. The curse can be lifted. We can rest in peace. Take it. Hide it. Keep it safe.
So, first and foremost, how can we can rest in peace, the curse can be lifted, and then suddenly Robert is back again, cursed by Anubis? But let's just hypothetically say that, sure, this curse can reenact again. We see a video of Robert and his expedition party getting the artifacts, and it was actually his expedition party that stole the artifacts. So in hindsight, Robert didn't plan on getting these artifacts. It was his party.
That's the expedition party. That's Alfie, Patricia, Jerome, and Joy's great-grandparents.
What are they doing?
I think they're tomb robbing.
Seriously? Nice relatives you guys got.
It's Frobisher Smythe.
Great Grandpa.
He does not look happy. What's that?
I think it's a warning. It's telling people what'll happen to them if they steal from the pyramid. A curse.
What do you mean?
I think it means, sleep? Eternity?
Sure, he took the rats for them, and that's what they even say in the show, is Robert took the rats for them and took the curse upon himself.
Because Frobisher took the rat for him.
But it just still doesn't add up. Let's have a little bit look at the math. So first of all, Robert got cursed in 1922. That's the whole year of when things were happening. Robert was born in 1880, which means, and Sarah was born in 1915. According to a picture that Fabian holds up of 1880 to 1922. He supposedly died in 1922 after he got cursed by Anubis, which would make him oh dear math. 20 is in 1990 plus the 22, 42 years old. That's not that old. And this era was, this is when I get my phone, which I don't have. Math. I'll put numbers up here at some point. But let's talk a little bit about Harriet Denby real quick, because, oh yeah, these are just my notes of things from the show. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Okay, so Harriet Denby is the true keeper of Robert's tank. And Caroline is her adopted sister. Caroline won the role of the keeper and to do all of this, and she wasn't pure of heart, she wasn't the real keeper. So when they awoke Robert, he was evil because it wasn't done by the three it should have been. So first, my question would be is how did Caroline learn about the keeper role? Unless Harriet was stupid enough to tell her, which would make sense. I mean, sisters are sisters, but whatever. But the math doesn't add up for Robert and Harriet's dad being friends. Harriet was born in 1977. So even putting him at 1922, her father's birth year being in 1922, I'm sorry, the math does not work. Like it would mean that Harriet's dad, let's say he was born in 1900, that would make him 77 when Harriet was born. So the math is not adding up. I know when the writers wrote this show, they didn't plan for people to analyze it. You're welcome. So it just really has me baffled on how that math, and maybe they meant great grandpa, that would make more sense. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it. But my dad, doesn't make sense. The math is not adding up. But let's ignore the math. Let's hypothetically say that Robert is cursed by Anubis and all of this just goes through. He's cursed by Anubis and all of that. Don't worry, I have notes for that. Okay, so they received Robert created a secret room underneath the floor in case he did get cursed. And there was this riddle or this clue that was sent to them. When your friends are not your friends, the secret room is what you seek. When you reach a dead end, the time has come to dig deep. So you're telling me that Robert went on this expedition in 1922 and created a secret room planned as an insurance policy for his awakening in case he turned evil because he knew he was getting cursed. He planned to get cursed. And how did he know what to do? I'm sure research, I'm sure. But was he planning on getting cursed? Kind of tells me that maybe he was planning to steal these artifacts in general. But that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Secondly, the whole thing with the Staff of Osiris is that was meant to be the portal of where Ammit will come through and enter the realm. Cool. But they were given, each of the descendants who were on Robert's expedition party were given clues to remember where these artifacts were hidden. So once again, this is where we're at. We know Robert tricked Sabuna into revealing where these artifacts were based on point A, B, C, and D. Let's go to the lullabies. They all learned the upside down stairs, outside in, always search to conquer sin, high and low and dale and hill, seek ye all to mend all ill. There's just one thing you'll need. Jerome's, in the parlor the lines will lead. Alfie's, the lodge's heights are hot indeed. Willow and Joy are somehow related. Their family tree is the great-grandfathers. In the resting place you will succeed. Willow sings it the first time just that way, but then she said that in the place of rest you will succeed. So she keeps switching. I love when they just switch it just slightly but it's still the same thing. And then Patricia's in the summer house beneath the wheats. So you have all of these riddles, and the goal was that if Robert did wake up evil, their descendants will be able to keep them hidden from an evil Robert. Even with the trickery, they were very interested in finding the staff without Robert's trickery. And Harry even says that it was dangerous. It's dangerous, don't do it. But they were still interested in getting it. But you know what? Again, doesn't matter. Let's just keep going on. The staff of Osiris was completely shattered when they sent Ammit back into the underworld. Completely shattered. So even if this were to happen again in a million years, Ammit would not be able to come back because the staff has been destroyed, shattered, like obliterated into pieces. It still doesn't stop the fact that some of these things just cannot happen. One of the big things about season 3 of why I cannot stand it is the actress who played Nina, her name is Natalia Ramos, she did not come back for season 3. And it was because she wanted to focus on school. Now, I have mad respect for Natalia to make this decision in her acting career at this point in time. This was 2013 when season 3 was released. And so I have mad respect that she chose to step away from the show and focus on her school. I have mad respect for an actress to do that. But they wanted to write her off as if she had fallen out of love with Fabian, and she wanted to, her grand got sick, and the Osiris and the Chosen One cannot be together or else bad things will happen. That doesn't make sense. For several reasons. Let's start with season 2. Everything that was happening in season 2 was pretty bad, but it was because Sabina was being cursed by Sankara the entire season. So all the bad that was happening was because of an unknown ruler. Now, again, we don't know really what was happening while they were together, whether in America or whatever it might have been. However, let's continue on with that. Let's just say, sure, bad things were happening while they were together. I don't believe it. Let's go back to the previous Chosen One in Osarian, Sarah Frobisher Smythe and Rufus Zeno. Now, I'm sure we can argue that Rufus is a bad guy. He's a villain. He doesn't deserve blah, 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 blah. That doesn't matter. Sarah was the Chosen One. Wow, I almost said Osarian. Sarah was the Chosen One at a very young age. Because here's the thing. Robert could not have hidden those pieces of the cup around the house without Sarah's help. The panel in the attic, opened by Sarah's locket. The panel in the hallway, Sarah's locket. The oven in the kitchen, Sarah's locket. Sarah's locket. Sarah had to be the one to do it, or even Rufus had to, because Rufus was the Osirian, and we have been shown that the Osirian can use the locket. It does work with the Osirian, if we're taking season 3, that part of season 3 into account. We're not done. Sarah was the Chosen One at a very young age. Now, the thing when she told Victor that she didn't know where these objects were probably simply because she didn't remember. She was old, probably had some form or starting of dementia, we don't know, but I mean, come on, that was many years ago. So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember things from, I'm 23, I don't remember half my childhood. So I can't blame Sarah for not remembering where she hid puzzle pieces when she was probably 10 years old, and she was that was 80 years ago.
It's been 84 years.
So yeah, I don't know, kind of with Sarah on that one. With Sarah being the chosen one at a very young age, Rufus most likely knew some way that he was the Osirian. I mean, Victor Rodemar Sr. told us in season 2 that Rufus was the Osirian. And so it's most likely possible that they knew it while they were together. When Sarah's parents died, Rufus's parents became the legal guardians of Sarah.
Gustav and Isabella Zeno. Rufus's parents.
What is it?
This says that Rufus's parents became the legal guardians of Sarah 2 years after her parents died.
And so they were living together while they were children. Rufus didn't become evil until the power got to his head. Later on, he became a betrayer because they became benefactors together, Sarah, Rufus, and Victor, on Anubis' estate.
Boarding school founded on Anubis' estate. Victor Rodemar Jr., son of the late Victor Rodemar Sr., has founded a new school on the Anubis estate with help from his benefactors, Mr. Rufus Zeno and Miss Sarah Frobisher-Smythe.
So for years, they were living together, they were working together, they were doing things together. And then you're telling me that the only bad things happened later in time. I'm sure if that were the case, they would have figured it out sooner or later and done something about it really early on, but they didn't. As far as we are aware, Sarah and Rufus lived together in their early childhood years. So Chosen One and Osirian can be together. I'm sure they cannot be together romantically, but they can be friends and they can live together. I mean, if even season 2, a whole semester together. The Osirian is meant to protect the Chosen One. How can the Osirian protect the Chosen One if she's not even there? Make it make sense. That's where it lasts on the mystery. But let's talk a little bit more about characters I can't stand in season 3 and why. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the actresses who play these characters. I love Alexandria Shipp, who plays KT Rush, and I love Louisa Colony Burnham, who plays Willow Jenks. However, KT is a Nina wannabe, and Willow is an Amber wannabe. And let's find out why. So in season 1, Nina's whole catchphrase and everything is, "Hi, I'm Nina, I'm from America."
Hi, I'm Nina, I'm from America.
And Patricia even says she's American and she's totally obsessed with it.
She's American and she's like totally obsessed with it.
However, when we meet KT and she's introducing herself, "Hi, I'm Cara Tatiana. You can blame my parents for this one, for that one. I'm from the States."
I'm KT, that's short for Cara Tatiana. Blame my parents for that one. I'm from the States.
Oh, we never would have guessed.
No kidding. No kidding. But you know what? Sure, steal Nana's somewhat American catchphrase. See if I care. Another thing that has me somewhat baffled is Harriet knew who KT was when she entered the mental institute. So was she doing research on KT? Did she know? How did she know? It's kind of like how Sarah knew who Nina was as a chosen one. And it makes me wonder, maybe the chosen ones know who they are. The Osirians seem to be a little bit confused. At least Eddie didn't really know he was the Osirian until after the fact. But it doesn't really mean anything. But Harriet knew who KT was. How? Why? Was she stalking her? Did she expect KT to come to the school? In that case, also, wouldn't have Sweet and Victor also known or tried to bring them here? Bring her to the school maybe sooner rather than later? Season 3 later? Another thing that, and I don't think so because Sweet brought in Joy, Patricia, Jerome, and Alfie under the same scholarship because he knew that they were descendants and that their great-grandparents were on the same expedition party as Robert. So, but I still think that if we knew earlier that Katie was under Robert's lineage, that they would have tried to bring her there earlier in the series and not so late in season 3, because it doesn't quite add up to everything that they're trying to tell us in season 3 with everything that's going on. But Katie, being Katie, she wants to constantly mention, Robert's my great grandpa. Robert's my great grandpa. Guys, that's my great grandpa. Guess what? I don't care.
My great grandpa gets cursed. My great grandpa. Hey, great grandpa. He's my great grandpa. My great grandpa.
I needed to go see if my great grandpa was evil or not. I need to, maybe if I just looked at him. You want to look at him to see if he's evil. When you can clearly see what he is doing, you want to see if he is evil. If you just saw him face to face. Honey, that's stupid.
Hello? Denby.
We saw you on the video camera. Frobisher nearly had you.
What?
You
Like,
can't
why
just
did you
walk
do
into the
that?
cases do these things, Katie.
I'm sorry. I thought that maybe if I saw him, I would be able to tell whether he was
What? Evil.
That's like Nina. I'm not. I don't think Nina's ever done anything so stupid like that. Even Amber. Amber has her dumb blonde moments, but that is so stupid. You don't need to go see if somebody's evil. You've seen on cameras what's going on, and you have ideas. You don't need to go physically see it and see if you can change him. He's under, hypothetically going along with this, he's under the spell of Amit. He's working for Amit. You need to work on reversing it and not letting this just happen, okay? You read me? Cool. Another thing with Katie is she's just always whining and about everything. Sabrina's all about taking risks and taking chances. In season 2, when they're giving the memory box by Vera and Victor, they take the risk. Sabrina takes a risk to play the Game of Senate under the influence, under the mind game and control of Vera and Victor. They're not really, but they do it. And Joy says, I think you're all insane. Amber says, and that's why you'll never be a true Sabuna.
Well, I'm in.
Me too. Amber? I think you're all insane. And that is why you'll never be a Sabina.
Katie just complains about literally everything. Oh my gosh, taking the risk. Oh my gosh, we can't do it. Oh my gosh. Even when they have a task at hand, when they're going to the tank room to try to look at Robert's tank and everything, Fabian notices the key. Oh, that's what that's for. First of all, dumb thing to say, Fabian, but go off. How do you know about this key, Fabian? When have you seen it? I want answers. Focus on the task at hand, KT. We need to focus on the task at hand. We only have a limited amount of time before Denby gets back. We got to focus on the task at hand. Eventually, they get to the tank room. Fabian's looking over here at Robert, trying to get things. KT's still hung up about the key. How did you know about my key, Fabian? Patricia and I took it. We thought you were working for them. That's so mean, Fabian. Pushes him against Robert's tank. Thankfully, Eddie was on the other side of the tank. I know it was in the script, but had he not been, Robert's tank would have busted, and who knows what would have actually happened and after the fact. Like.
So that's what it's for.
What?
What? I mean, oh, you've got a key to the door.
No, you said, so that's what that's for. But I've never showed you this, so why do you act like you've already seen it?
Well,
Fabian?
Okay, guys, we're kind of on a schedule here.
Fabian, have you seen this?
What?
I said, how have you seen this? Do you get visions too?
No, Patricia took it.
What?
Well, I'm sorry, but she thought you were working for Victor. Well, we all did.
Are you serious? Did you know about this?
What? No! Can we just look for clues and get out of here?
I can't believe you guys didn't trust me.
Well, what did you expect?
That is so mean, Fabian!
Are you serious? Focus on the task at hand. We don't have unlimited amounts of time. They have to do this in between literally everything. We don't have time for your nonsense, for crying out loud. So she just panics instead of remaining calm in the moment. Sabrina works under pressure and under risk, and if you can't take it, get out. We don't even want you here. We really don't. At least I don't. Fabian will tell you guys his facts about Egypt mythology whenever it comes to be, when it might come into play. And Casey just brushes it off like it's nothing. Some of those facts can actually help, okay? It can, and it will, and just listen to Fabian. Listen to Fabian for a change. Except when he said he sees dead people. I do want to make one more comment that I forgot to earlier. Again, I'm just like kind of skimming my notes a little bit. Is no one person is bigger than Sabuna. You work as a team and you work together. So Katie going over to that gatehouse when she was trying to see if Robert was evil or not, no one person is bigger than Sabuna. You either work together or it doesn't work at all. There's no me in Sabuna. There is an I in Sabuna, so I couldn't say that one. But yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Willow. She is the stupidest person I've ever met in my entire life. Now, I've seen plenty of TV shows, but Willow was so mind-numbingly boring. And here are two clips of two things that she says that make me want to die.
Operation Vengeance is a go.
Oh no. I had an operation on my appendix and it made me very woozy. I think you'll have to count me out.
Different kind of operation, Willow.
Any kind of operation. They're just not fun. Make you very woozy.
The nursery rhyme you were singing last night, who taught it to you?
My grandpa.
What was his name?
Grandpa. To squee or not to squee? Squee!
Just kidding. They don't really want me to die, but they just infuriate me. Some people might find them funny. I find them infuriating because is someone really that stupid? Okay, so these are two things that are just out of the ordinary. They're kind of under my miscellaneous section. Misc. So they were trying to do something and in House of Sisters, and they said, it's late. For the next scene that we see, it's like pure daytime. Check this out.
Yeah, and it's pretty late. You'll never make it back before curfew.
And your jeans are a bit scruffy to go visiting.
All good points, all right? But you want to know another good point? A great evil is about to be unleashed by an imposter, okay?
That's only Alfie.
Ready? Go.
Make it nighttime. It cracks me up. I thought it was kind of funny. And then something else that I kind of more so just liked was in House of Amit, they steal Victor's, it's 10 o'clock, you know what that means, you have 5 minutes precisely, and then I went to hear a pin drop, and they changed it to, it's Amit o'clock. Take a look.
It's Amit o'clock!
You have 5 minutes precisely.
And then I want to hear all of you drop.
More interesting things is Alfie seemed to have lost interest in Sabuna after Amber's departure. And I say that because he was like, food or Sabuna.
No, I mean, but it's like Sabuna, food, Sabuna.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Food, isn't it?
And you know, if Nina and Amber aren't in Sabuna, I choose food too. But Amber and Nina made it so crucial, and they made such a crucial impact to Sabuna that Alfie just felt lost in Sabuna without Amber. And then the whole Willow and Alfie thing just really destroyed my whole inner being. It will always be Amphi. And if you don't believe that, then I'm sorry. Here's the door. I don't know. Secondly, when Amber left, she was in that tank room for days. Are you telling me in the days that she was there, she didn't see the elevator Amber's dumb, but she's not that dumb. And she's not even dumb on top of that. She has her dumb moments, but she's not dumb. She would have found that elevator. Some way, shape, or form. You can't tell me that she didn't.
What is it?
It's an elevator. Alfie, you little genius!
Still don't know why they wrote Amber off. Amber was just so big of a person and a big of a character. I would have just canceled the whole show from that moment on if Amber was leaving. Because Amber created Sabuna.
So I've had a really important idea. We're the only 3 students at Creepy Tales who know all about this. We're a club, gang, posse, whatever you want to call it. I think we should make it official. Sabuna.
Sabuna.
Anubis, backwards. See what I did there? I'm a little bit of a genius.
A little bit.
I know.
There's no Sabuna without Amber. There's definitely no Sabuna without Nina. Can't spell Sabuna without Nina.
There is no Sabuna without Nina.
Eddie's visions are a lot like Sarah's voices. Are a lot like Nina's voices. In season 1, to help find the cup of ink, Nina heard voices in the house.
Demisphere. Demisphere.
Just like Eddie got visions for the code to the gatehouse or things like, or seeing just things about their mystery.
You must go to the Anubis estate. It's all been arranged.
So they were very futuristic visions, or visions of the past, or visions of the moment. And I feel like this would also count for his dreams. He probably had a lot of dreams about this, and they got stronger as the mystery was going on, and maybe as the darkness started to overcome. So perhaps this was Osiris speaking through him. I mean, the Osirian kind of sounds like it comes from Osiris as a god. And Osiris, let's take a look at my hand candy books. Osiris is the god of death and resurrection. I knew that. I really did. So, with that, perhaps the whole resurrection of Robert was making his visions just grow ultimately stronger due to the fact that Robert was evil and things were not how they were supposed to be. That's my theory. A little bit of my theory. I want to talk about something else. This show really captivates the whole Egyptian mythology and everything like that. We learn about so many Egyptian gods throughout this series, but how many of them are true or real based on what they say? You'd be kind of surprised. Ammit, what we learn about Ammit is real. She is the devourer of souls. She has a crocodile head, hippopotamus, hind legs, and then her front is of a lion. And she does devour the hearts of the unpure.
Ammit was known as the devourer of souls.
So her wanting to come into the world to devour hearts is pretty accurate. I'm sure if she had a portal to come into the world, she would devour everyone's souls, which is kind of scary to think about. But you know what? It would happen because Ammit is the devourer of souls. She's a monstrous goddess. That is how she is labeled. She is a monstrous goddess. We learn about Anubis, the god of death. He is the god of death.
No death can kill me, because I am death!
He guards burials. He is a jackal-headed god, so he has like a jackal head. He helps judge the dead, and he is the god of death. We learn about Hathor. Hathor is said to be the goddess of music.
It's Hathor, goddess of the arts.
Not quite true. So Hathor is for the horn test in season 2, but there's an ox bell included, which is great. But according to my books, Hathor is a cow golden goddess who helps women give birth the dead to be reborn, and the cosmos to be renewed. In pyramid text spell 406, the Eye of Ra is upon the horns of Hathor. So there's nothing here that tells me that she is the goddess of music. But, you know, I'm sure there is a goddess of music. But according to all of my books, I don't see where it is Hathor herself. For the reflection test, we learn about Horus, who is the sky hawk-headed god. He is the keeper of the skies.
Horus, god of the skies.
As Lord of the Sky, his wings spanned the heavens, and his eyes were the sun and the moon. Okay, so, you know, I can definitely see, like, with the sun and the moon key that we have in season 3, I can see that where those can align with Horus. But Horus is also the son of Isis and Osiris. We learned in season 1, we have the grandfather clock. My father's father stands tall, his face and hands together turn circles around Isis and Osiris, and Horus the sun reveals me. Remember that riddle?
My father's father stands tall. His face and hands together turn circles around Isis and Osiris, and Horus, the sun, reveals me.
So for the most part, what we learn about Horus is very accurate. All we learn about Isis is that she is the mother of Horus and the wife of Osiris. We don't really get to learn more about Isis, which is kind of sucky because I'm sure she'd be really cool to learn about. We learned that Neith is a spider-headed weaver goddess.
Neith. The spider-headed weaver goddess of war.
Does not have a spider head, but she is a goddess of weaving. And spiders weave webs. You know, I'm okay with this. I'm really genuinely okay with this. It's not like the end of the world. But let's dive into, after Neith, we learn about Sekhmet, the alchemy test. And we learned that Sekhmet is the goddess of medicine.
Sekhmet, the goddess of medicine.
But she's not. She's really, really not. Sekhmet is actually the goddess of war and battle, not medicine. Again, it's okay. It doesn't really heavily impact the season, but she's not. Thoth is the god of wisdom and knowledge.
It's the Ibis, the symbol of Thoth, the god of wisdom and learning.
Sounds awesome.
That is true. We learn about Sobek, who is a crocodile-headed god. Similar to Amit, but not as evil as I'm aware. He is known as the Raging One, and that would make sense because we have the hopscotch test in his chamber. We have the bridge test, but that's in the crocodile shape. Then we have the swinging pendulums and the tunnel of phobias. More so scary than raging, but we don't really learn that much about Sobek. For the most part, those are all of the gods that I almost said villains. They're not villains. Those are all the gods and goddesses that we learn about. And for the most part, they are pretty accurate and they pretty much sync up. And those are really all of my notes on season 3. There's a lot of things that don't add up. Obviously, there are a lot of things that don't make sense, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. And for the most part, I do heavily enjoy this series. I love House of Anubis with all of my heart, soul, and mind. But based on just take the fact that Robert can't be cursed by Anubis again. He also wouldn't have had time to hide the Egyptian artifacts throughout the house had he been cursed at that moment. So there's a couple of questions that line up. I think for the most part, I did answer them, or I just gave you more questions to wonder about. I really think that in House of Anubis season 1 and season 2 are the only thing that should be counting. Season 3 just can fall off the face of the earth for all I care, which also means Touchstone of Ra can't really happen, which that one is just up there with season 3. It doesn't really make sense, because we learn that protecting the Touchstone is Victor's destiny, but isn't it also being the enabler? Isn't it also protecting the house and Colbier? More plot holes, more questions, more things to dive into. And maybe I'll make a video on that one. I don't care that much about Touchstone of Ra, so I'm not sure if I would, but if you want me to do Touchstone of Ra, leave a comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and the next show that I'm considering doing where I will be analyzing is going to be the show Manifest. This was given to me by my best friend Molly, and I'm really excited to just watch it and see what I can come up with, and I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to check out all of my social medias and give me a follow, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Just Jen, signing off.